Hey warriors! Anger does not start as fire. It begins as pressure. Pressure in the chest, pressure behind the eyes, pressure from words you never asked to hear. Most people think anger comes from outside, but really it begins inside, in the space where expectation meets reality and the mind refuses to let go. This is not about pretending you don't feel things. It's not about smiling through disrespect. It's about building a calm that is unshakable, a center that nothing outside can disturb. People will always test you, not because they are cruel, not because they are special, but because they are human. Some speak without thinking. Some project stress they cannot contain. Some carry pain they never learned how to hold. And if you react to all of it, you will live exhausted. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." That line is not soft. It is demanding. It asks you to stop expecting the world to protect your peace and start protecting it yourself. Anger feels powerful in the moment, but it comes at a cost. It steals clarity, energy, focus, and sleep. And most of the time, the person who caused it moves on without a second thought, leaving you holding the storm alone. This is not about winning arguments. It's about winning yourself back. Calm is not passive. Calm is mastery. Choosing it does not mean surrendering. It means refusing to let anyone live rent-free inside your mind. Epictetus said, "If someone angers you, it is because you allow them." This removes excuses. Your peace is not fragile. It is simply unguarded. This video will not hand you easy tips or shallow tricks. No count to 10 advice. No forced positivity. No empty slogans. Instead, it will show you how to see people, hear words, and process situations so that anger cannot take root. You will learn how to stay grounded amid chaos, how to preserve your energy, and how to move through life without letting others' actions dictate your inner climate. These are not tricks. They are subtle, profound, internal shifts that free your mind. Once you understand this, anger becomes optional, not automatic. You do not need to numb yourself. You only need clarity. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. This is not about controlling others. It is about controlling yourself. That is where true strength lives. If this thought resonates, feel free to share it in the comments as a reminder to yourself. I protect my peace. Before we dive deeper, like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs calm, and subscribe to the channel. Don't skip any part. Each step builds on the last. Number 1. Stop absorbing other people's energy. Anger often begins quietly, almost imperceptibly, as tension in your chest, a knot behind your eyes, a weight pressing on your shoulders. Most of the time it grows because we absorb energy that is not ours, the impatience, criticism, and frustration of others. Every sharp word, every careless gesture, every thoughtless action has the power to enter our minds, but it only does so because we allow it. Imagine for a moment a river. The water flows constantly, carrying debris from far upstream. You cannot stop the current, and you cannot control everything the river brings. But you can choose what you scoop out, what you let slide past, and what you allow to pollute your own pond. Your energy works the same way. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you allow others' negativity, irritations, and petty provocations to enter your mind unchecked, you give away your peace. You fertilize anger, frustration, and resentment with energy that was never theirs to take. Observing this does not make you indifferent. It makes you wise. You begin to notice who drains you and why, which moments stir your inner tension, and how quickly you can reclaim control if you simply pause. Take a moment to feel what happens when someone criticizes you unfairly. The heat rises in your chest, your mind races with defense, and your thoughts spiral into judgments about them, the situation, or yourself. That surge is natural, but it is not compulsory. You have a choice. You can notice it, let it pass, and respond with calm, rather than reacting with the same heat and tension. Epictetus reminded us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Every reaction you give away unnecessarily is energy lost. Every moment you allow irritation to nest in your mind is a moment your peace is compromised. By pausing, observing, and choosing your response intentionally, you reclaim what was always yours. Here is a subtle but profound shift. When someone raises their voice, instead of mirroring it, notice the tension in your body. Take a deep breath. Let the heat subside before you speak. When someone criticizes, listen carefully for what is constructive and let the rest dissipate, returning it to them without internalizing it. When someone provokes you, understand that their behavior is a reflection of their mind, not a statement about your worth. Each moment you refuse to absorb their energy, you strengthen the walls of your inner sanctuary. This principle is not just about resisting anger. It is about seeing clearly. It is about separating what belongs to you from what belongs to the world around you. Most people live as if every word, every glance, every tone is a reflection of their reality. The truth is that their words are about them, not you. Recognizing this frees you from unnecessary suffering. Over time, practicing this leads to profound transformation. You will notice fewer triggers, fewer emotional spikes, and less exhaustion from holding battles that were never yours to fight. You stop carrying the storms of others and instead cultivate calm as a constant companion. Your mind becomes a sanctuary where clarity, peace, and intention thrive, unaffected by the chaos outside. Imagine walking through life like a tree rooted in deep soil. Winds may sway your branches, rain may drench your leaves, but your roots remain unshaken. The storm cannot uproot you. By not absorbing the energy of others, you are planting those roots in calm, patience, and awareness. That is where real strength lives. You might note this below if it reflects what you feel today. My energy is mine. Number 2, detach from the need to be understood. Anger often hides behind a quiet, relentless expectation, the desire to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. You speak your truth, you express your feelings, and you hope the world will respond in kind. When it does not, irritation surfaces, frustration rises, and anger quietly creeps in. The truth is clear. Not everyone is capable of understanding you, and some never will be. This is not a reflection of your value, intelligence, or worth. It is simply the nature of human experience. Expecting comprehension as a guarantee is a trap that leaves you angry at a world that never promised alignment with your perspective. Epictetus said, "If you wish to be loved, love. If you wish to be free, let go of what you cannot control." Understanding is a gift, not a right. By detaching from the need to be understood, you remove the foundation of many frustrations. You stop demanding validation, approval, or agreement from those whose minds may never reach yours. You stop giving away your energy in invisible battles. This detachment is not indifference, it is clarity, it is freedom. Think about the times you have felt misunderstood. Perhaps a colleague misreads your intentions, a friend dismisses your concerns, a family member judges your choices without knowing the full story. The instinct is to explain, defend, or argue endlessly. But some minds will never align with yours. Some hearts will never meet your perspective halfway. and every attempt to force understanding only feeds anger and disappointment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." These weapons, awareness, patience, and detachment, allow you to navigate the world without surrendering your calm. Speaking your truth once, clearly, and then releasing the outcome is an act of mastery. The response, acknowledgement, or understanding of another person is not yours to carry. Your peace, however, is entirely yours. Detachment reshapes perception. When criticism comes, you filter it. You take what is useful and let go of the rest. You recognize that misunderstanding does not diminish your worth. When someone misjudges you, their perception reflects their own limitations, not your reality. Anger loses its grip when you stop measuring your life by someone else's understanding. Imagine holding a cup of water. The water represents your energy, your attention, your mental space. Every time you try to force someone to understand you, you pour that water into their cup, often leaving your own cup empty. Detachment allows you to keep your cup full, preserving energy, clarity, and peace. You give only when it serves you and strengthens you, not when it feeds someone else's approval. Over time, detachment transforms your relationship with anger. You notice fewer triggers, less irritation, and less resentment. You stop reliving moments that caused frustration. You stop tying your peace to others' recognition. You begin to realize that your calm is independent of the opinions, judgments, or understanding of others. This does not mean shutting down or withdrawing from life. It means engaging with intention, speaking clearly, and then releasing what cannot be changed. Freedom grows in this detachment. You learn to see situations for what they are, not what you wish them to be. Anger becomes optional because you no longer tie your emotional state to the limits of someone else's mind. Consider leaving this in the comments if it inspires you to embrace yourself fully. I am enough. Number 3. See provocation as a test, not an attack. Anger often masquerades as a reaction to others, but most provocations are not personal. A harsh word, a dismissive glance, or an unfair comment can feel like an attack. But in reality, it is a test, a mirror showing your patterns, your triggers, and your emotional habits. How you respond determines whether anger controls you or you control anger. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Provocation is life's training ground for patience, restraint, and clarity. When someone tries to irritate or provoke you, the world is not asking permission. It is presenting an opportunity to measure the strength of your inner calm. Responding impulsively with irritation or anger hands your power away. Responding with awareness, however, is a demonstration of mastery. Consider the experience of someone speaking sharply to you. Instinct may scream to snap back, to defend, to assert yourself immediately. But pause. Notice the tension in your chest, the heat rising in your face, the urge to retaliate. That is the moment to practice choice. Recognize that the provocation is not an evaluation of your worth. It is the other person's struggle projected outward. Your response is yours alone to shape. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every provocation carries this dual message, a challenge and a lesson. If approached consciously, each frustrating interaction strengthens your ability to remain unshaken. By viewing provocation as a test, anger loses its authority over you. The world's attempts to disrupt your peace become exercises in patience, awareness, and emotional resilience. Think of anger as a storm. React impulsively, and you are swept into its chaos, tossed in every direction, dragged by its current. Respond intentionally, and the storm passes around you, leaving you standing in calm, observing without being pulled under. Each provocation you encounter is a chance to practice this calm, to strengthen the foundation of your inner strength. This practice requires repetition and attention. The first few times it may feel unnatural. Your mind will insist that the provocation is personal, that you must defend yourself, that you are being treated unfairly. But with awareness and reflection, the shift occurs. You stop replaying these moments, stop carrying unnecessary tension, and stop letting anger dictate your responses. You become the observer, the arbiter, and the master of your inner state. Responding without anger does not mean silence or passivity. It means presence. It means clarity. It means recognizing that you are free to act in alignment with your values rather than your impulses. Each time you choose to respond intentionally, your mind learns that anger is optional, not necessary. Your energy is preserved, your clarity remains, and your peace is strengthened. Over time, this perspective transforms your relationships and interactions. You begin to notice fewer emotional spikes. Minor irritations no longer consume your attention. Even when faced with hostility or provocation, you maintain calm, choosing actions and words that reflect your inner strength rather than reacting to external chaos. Life becomes less reactive and more intentional. It can be meaningful to write this down below if it connects with your journey. I grow through challenges. Number 4. Release the illusion of control over others. Anger often grows quietly in the spaces where expectation meets reality. You expect people to act, speak, or behave in certain ways, and when they do not, irritation surfaces. The reality is simple yet profound. You cannot control others, their words, their actions, their choices. These are theirs, not yours. Trying to control them is like trying to hold water in your hands. The more you grasp, the more it slips through, leaving tension and frustration behind. Understanding this is not surrender, it is liberation. Once you accept that you are responsible only for your mind and your choices, the triggers that once fueled anger lose their power. You begin to see events and interactions as they are, not as you wish them to be. The world's chaos can no longer disrupt the calm you cultivate within. Epictetus said, "Some things are in our control and others not." Everything outside your mind, the sharp remark, the careless comment, the misunderstanding, is beyond your control. What is in your control is your response. Your energy, your clarity, and your calm, these belong to you alone. When you release the illusion of control, you stop surrendering your emotional power to circumstances beyond your reach. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Begin the morning by saying to yourself, I shall meet with busybody, ingratitude, arrogance, deceit. Not to complain, not to judge, but to remain steady." This practice reshapes perception. You no longer interpret others' behavior as a personal affront or a reflection of your value. You see each action as a fact of life, neutral until you assign meaning to it. When a colleague interrupts, a friend criticizes, or a stranger dismisses, the act itself cannot harm you. Only your interpretation can. By accepting this, you reclaim your peace. Imagine a storm raging outside. You cannot stop the wind or the rain, but you can remain inside a sturdy home, observing without being swept away. Releasing control over others is like building that home. You do not need to dictate the storm, you only need to protect your space. Your emotional walls, when strengthened through this understanding, prevent unnecessary irritation from entering. Over time, this perspective transforms relationships. You stop trying to correct, manage, or force others into your expectations. You speak clearly when necessary, act with integrity, and then release outcomes that are not yours to determine. The less you attempt to control, the more freedom and calm you experience. You no longer live in reaction to others' behaviors. You live in alignment with your values, your priorities, and your inner sanctuary. Anger thrives on expectation. When you let go of trying to control what is uncontrollable, you remove the soil in which anger takes root. You stop creating unnecessary suffering and start directing energy where it truly matters, toward clarity, self-mastery, and intentional action. Your mind becomes your home, your sanctuary, and your power. The practice requires constant attention and reflection. Each interaction offers a choice. Resist the urge to control and preserve your calm, or surrender to irritation and feed anger. With repeated awareness, responding from serenity becomes second nature. You learn that calm does not depend on the actions of others. It depends solely on the choices you make. If this idea resonates, sharing it below might help you carry it through your day. I control only myself. Number 5. Choose inner silence before external reaction. Anger is loud. It rushes into the body, tightens the chest, heats the face, and pushes words toward the mouth before the mind can catch up. Most people believe reacting immediately is survival, that silence is weakness. But the strongest people in history understood the opposite. True power lives in the pause, in the quiet space between stimulus and response. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Delay does not mean avoidance. It does not mean pretending nothing is happening. It means allowing the storm inside to settle before choosing your action. That pause is sacred. It is where clarity arises, where choice becomes conscious, and where your energy remains intact. In that space, you are no longer a victim of impulse. You are the master of your mind. Notice how anger manifests in the body: a tight jaw, a racing heart, a surge of heat. That is the signal to pause, to breathe, to recognize that you are not the emotion itself, but the observer of it. By choosing silence first, you reclaim control over your mind. Every reactive word spoken in the heat of anger can fracture relationships, cloud judgment, and linger as regret. Silence chosen intentionally preserves integrity, clarity, and dignity. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Inner silence weakens the story that anger tells. When you pause, you stop fueling the narrative of offense and provocation. You refuse to hand your energy over to someone else's chaos. Silence allows perspective to rise naturally. You can hear what is necessary, respond when it matters, and let go when it does not. Choosing silence is not a permanent state. It is a practice. It does not mean never speaking. It means speaking after clarity arrives, after your mind has settled, after your heart has caught up. The strength in this practice is subtle, almost invisible. It is in the calm, measured tone, the absence of unnecessary confrontation, and the space where anger no longer dictates your actions. Imagine your mind as a lake. Every wave of anger is a pebble tossed in. React immediately, and the water churns endlessly. Pause, breathe, and allow the ripple to fade, and the lake remains calm, reflecting the sky clearly. This is how you maintain peace in a world that constantly throws pebbles, by refusing to participate in every disturbance. Over time, inner silence changes life. Small irritations stop controlling you. Provocations lose weight. The mind no longer overreacts to minor triggers. Even when challenges appear, you remain anchored. Anger becomes optional because you no longer feed it with your immediate reaction. It appears as a passing wave, not a storm controlling your ship. This practice transforms relationships too. People notice your calm. Your clarity inspires steadiness. The absence of reactive anger allows conflicts to be resolved more effectively. You begin to respond with wisdom instead of instinct, with patience instead of frustration, with peace instead of agitation. Each pause you take before speaking or reacting is a declaration. I am not controlled by the chaos around me. My calm is mine. My energy is mine. My mind is mine. Inner silence is not absence. It is mastery, resilience, and profound freedom. You may reflect on this thought or leave it in the comments as a gentle reminder. I pause and stay calm. Number 6. Transform judgment into curiosity. Anger often grows from judgment. When someone acts in a way that frustrates us, the mind leaps to conclusions, creating stories that magnify irritation. We assume motives, assign blame, and imagine malice where there may be none. Most of the time, we do not know the full story. Human behavior is complex, influenced by circumstances, upbringing, and unseen struggles. Reacting with anger is like trying to navigate a storm blindfolded. The Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus wrote, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little, and the greatest fault is to be angry with what is beyond your control." Judgment is often rooted in attempting to control the uncontrollable. When you replace judgment with curiosity, you create a mental space that prevents anger from taking hold. Curiosity asks questions instead of assigning blame. It seeks understanding rather than reaction. Instead of, "Why are they rude?" you ask, "What pressures or struggles might they be facing? What can I learn from this moment?" Practical application begins with self-awareness. The next time irritation rises, pause. Observe your physiological responses: tight jaw, racing heart, shallow breath. Then consciously shift your lens from judgment to inquiry. Consider that every person acts according to their perception of the world, which may be incomplete or flawed. By reframing provocation as a puzzle rather than an attack, you maintain clarity, preserve energy, and respond intentionally. Your mental focus determines the hue of your experience. When you dwell in judgment, anger colors your mind. When you dwell in curiosity, peace and understanding permeate your thoughts. This simple shift transforms relationships, interactions, and your internal emotional landscape. Instead of being a passive reactor to irritation, you become an active observer, learning and responding with clarity. Over time, this habit rewires your emotional responses. Situations that once provoked anger now invite reflection. Minor conflicts no longer dominate your thoughts. Emotional energy is preserved. Curiosity becomes a shield, a lens, and a pathway to wisdom. Anger becomes optional because the mind has learned to seek understanding first, reaction later. If this inspires you, consider noting it below to hold on to this perspective. I choose understanding over anger. Number 7. Anchor yourself in purpose, not opinion. Anger often rises when we measure our value through others' opinions. Criticism, disapproval, or misunderstanding can spark irritation if we rely on external validation. True serenity comes from grounding yourself in purpose, a clear understanding of your values, priorities, and long-term vision. When your anchor is internal, the storms of opinion lose their power. Seneca the Younger once emphasized a similar principle with different words. No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by hope or fear. In this context, anger emerges when hope for approval or fear of judgment dominate. Anchoring in purpose neutralizes these impulses. Your actions become guided by meaning, not by fleeting emotional reactions. You act because it aligns with your values, not because someone else approves. You respond intentionally, not emotionally. Practical application begins with defining core principles. Identify the actions, beliefs, and intentions that matter most to you. In moments of provocation, ask, does reacting in anger serve my purpose? Does it bring me closer to the life I want to live? If the answer is no, release it. By measuring responses against your purpose rather than external opinions, you preserve energy, clarity, and peace. The Roman philosopher Heracles wrote, "Do not allow the opinions of others to direct your life. The universe moves according to reason, and so should you." Anchoring in purpose does not mean ignoring the world. It means acting with intention within it. It allows discernment. You speak when action aligns with your values, remain silent when reaction serves no purpose, and conserve your energy for what truly matters. Anger cannot penetrate a mind guided by clear purpose. Criticism becomes feedback, not a weapon. Disrespect becomes context, not injury. Over time, anchoring in purpose reshapes life itself. You stop chasing approval. You stop reacting impulsively. Your actions become deliberate, your words measured, your presence calm. Minor provocations no longer dictate emotional states. Your life is guided by intention, anchored in clarity, and resilient to the chaos outside. Anger promises power, but in truth, it only steals clarity, energy, and peace. Reacting to every provocation, defending against every slight, and trying to control what cannot be controlled leaves the mind fragmented and exhausted. True power is quiet. True strength is calm. True mastery is living unshaken, no matter the storms outside. You have learned 5 essential principles: protecting your energy, releasing the need to be understood, seeing provocations as tests, letting go of the illusion of control, and choosing inner silence before responding. These are not quick fixes. They are practices, subtle, daily, and transformative. Each time you apply them, you reclaim a piece of your mind, a fragment of your peace, and a measure of freedom that no external event can take away. Seneca wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." Anger is a thought. Calm is a thought. One confines you, the other frees you. By observing without absorbing, by detaching without withdrawing, by pausing before reacting, you protect the sanctuary of your mind. You preserve energy, clarity, and intention. You live as the master of your inner world, not a servant to the chaos around you. Carry this awareness with you. Let your calm become a river flowing beneath your daily life. Let it guide your words, shape your actions, and anchor your relationships. No one can take what you refuse to give. Your peace, once cultivated, is unshakable. If this video helped you, like it, comment your affirmation below, share it with someone who needs calm, and subscribe to the channel. Let your serenity ripple outward. If this speaks to you, you can write it in the comments to hold the thought close. My calm is my power.